Have you ever wondered what living in Israel is like? From the bustling streets of Tel Aviv to the serene landscapes of the Negev Desert, life in Israel is full of contrasts and complexities. In this video, we'll look at what it's like to live in this fascinating country. Israel is a land of ancient history, modern technology, and cultural diversity. It is a place where you can find both traditional Jewish customs and secular Western influences, often coexisting side by side. Despite its many strengths, life in Israel can also be challenging at times. Here are some common difficulties faced by Israelis. Number 50. Israel's $100 billion GDP exceeds its neighbors combined. Middle East's highest standard of living. It has the most home computers per person. 49. Israel boasts over 3,000 high-tech and startup enterprises, the most outside the US. It has the world's highest female and over 55 entrepreneurship rate at the third highest overall. 48. Israel leads technology innovation. It developed the cell phone, voicemail, the first antivirus software, the Pentium MXX processor, and most of the Windows NT operating systems. 47. A significant percentage of Israeli workers have attained higher education qualifications, with 24% holding college degrees and 12% holding postgraduate degrees. This is largely due to the country's emphasis on education, which is reflected in its high numbers of universities and research institutions, as well as its investment in science and technology. 46. Israel is the largest wholesale diamond center in the world and produces the most cut and polished diamonds. It adopted the Kimberley process initially. This new international standard certifies conflict-free diamonds. 45. Israel absorbs the most immigrants per capita in the world. Israel has a diverse culture with citizens from over 100 countries on 5 continents. 44. Israel uses Hebrew and Arabic. Israelis recovered the Hebrew language after millennia. 43. Israel is the only country that requires women to serve in the military. This policy was implemented in the early years of the state's existence and has since become a significant aspect of Israeli society, reflecting the country's commitment to gender equality and the belief that national security is the responsibility of all citizens. 42. Over 90% of the land is owned by Israel and controlled by the Israel Land Authority, ILA, which grants long-term leasing rights. 41. Israeli Jews and Arabs have equal political rights. Women have full rights, unlike in the Middle East. 40. Hiking and camping are ingrained in the culture. Israeli schools and youth organizations take annual hiking trips throughout Israel, instilling a love of hiking and outdoor exercise in their students. 39. Even though not everyone does, public institutions and restaurants in Israel follow kashrut. Israel has over 40 kosher McDonald's. Bamba, a peanut butter flavored snack created only in Israel, is called the national dish. 38. Israel has the most books, museums, and orchestras per capita. Israel has the Middle East's freest Arabic press. 37. Israel uses 50% recycled wastewater for irrigation. Israel is one of the cleanest nations on earth, since over 85% of its solid waste is processed environmentally. 36. Israel loves folk dancing, especially the hora. Israeli modern dance companies are renowned worldwide. Recreational and performance groups choreograph this traditional dancing. 35. Israelis consume the highest amount of fruit and vegetables per capita in the world. This is largely due to the country's emphasis on healthy eating, with government initiatives and cultural practices promoting the consumption of fresh produce as a key aspect to a healthy lifestyle. 34. To assist blind people in identifying different banknote denominations, Israeli currency includes braille markings. The braille markings are located at the top right corner of each banknote and provide a tactile representation of the banknote's value, allowing visually impaired individuals to independently handle their finances. 33. Israeli scientists have declared giraffe milk and flesh as kosher. This means that they can be consumed by Jewish people who follow dietary laws outlined in the Torah. 32. In an effort to tackle anorexia, Israel has become the first nation to outlaw the use of underweight models on catwalks. 31. Noam is the most common baby name in Israel, both for boys and girls, according to the most recent statistics. Noam is a pleasant name. 30. Israel actually had more trees at the start of the 21st century, a net increase in their number of trees. It was one of just 2 nations worldwide that did that. 29. An Israeli business developed the world's first jellyfish repellent. The product is designed to keep jellyfish at bay, reducing the risk of jellyfish stings and allowing swimmers and divers to enjoy the ocean more safely. 28. Israel's airspace is a bird superhighway. Each spring and fall, at least 500 million birds of 200 different species pass through there on their way to and from Asia, Africa, and Europe. 27. The title of President of Israel was offered to renowned scientist Albert Einstein in 1952. He gently declined the job offer. 26. Every year, thousands of letters addressed to God from around the world arrive in Jerusalem's post office, and the Israeli Postal Service has a team of individuals who respond to these letters with personal messages of hope and encouragement. 25. Israel is the only nation in the world that still uses the same name, calls the same territory home, and communicates in the same tongue as it did 3,000 years ago. After King Solomon's temple in Jerusalem was destroyed by the Romans in the year 70 CE, the majority of Jews were pushed into the diaspora, exile. But not all Jews migrated out of Europe. 24. In the 9th century, communities were rebuilt at Tiberias and Jerusalem. In the 11th century, 5 additional settlements expanded. During the Crusades of the 12th century, many Jews perished. Still, communities recovered and founded new settlements in the 3 centuries that followed. The Jewish people have had ties to their homeland for more than 3,700 years, from their inception to the present. 23. Israel was established as a modern Jewish state in 1948 after 78 years of work to create a homeland for Jews, which started in 1870. This culminated in the UN's 1947 decision to partition Palestine into Jewish and Arab states, leading to Israel's founding. 22. Approximately 600,000 Arabs were uprooted between 1947 and 1949 as a result of the United Nations 1947 partition resolution, which approved a plan for the division of Palestine. 21. The first of several Arab-Israeli conflicts broke out when military troops from Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, and Iraq attacked Israel. By an armistice agreement, the Gaza Strip was annexed by Egypt and the West Bank was partitioned between Israel and Jordan. 20. In 1950, Israel passed the law of return, saying that every Jew had the right to come to this country. Jerusalem is their capital. Number 19. Israel, Egypt, Syria, and Jordan fight in the 1967 Six-Day War. Israel gained the West Bank, Gaza Strip, Golan Heights, and the Sinai Peninsula, doubling its size. In Yom Kippur, 1973, Egypt and Syria bomb Israel. UN resolution ends the war in 2 weeks. Number 18. Anwar Sadat meets Menachem Begin in Jerusalem for peace talks in 1977. President Jimmy Carter formed the framework for the peace in the Middle East at Camp David in 1978. Sadat and Begin shared the Nobel Peace Prize that year. Number 17. The Palestinian Intifada began in 1987. PLO was founded in 1964. The PLO recognizes 2 UN resolutions, recognizing Israel as a sovereign nation and renouncing terrorism. The US hosts the 1991 Madrid Peace Conference for Middle East leaders. 16. Palestinian and Israeli officials accepted President George W. Bush's roadmap to peace in 2003, but fighting persists. 15. In the 1920-21 Jaffa and Jerusalem riots, Palestinian Arabs intentionally attacked Jewish citizens. 1929 saw over 85 Jews killed. In the early 1930s, the Black Hand, a precursor to the PLO, attacked Jews. During the 1936-39 Arab Revolt, Palestinian Jews were attacked. 14. In 1947, the UN partitioned Israel and the British Mandate of Palestine acknowledging Arab and Jewish rights to the area. Israel has frequently accepted the two-state solution with an internationally administered Jerusalem zone. Arabs rebelled. 13. Since creating the PLO in 1964, Yasser Arafat has often expressed his intentions of eradicating Israel. Hezbollah, Hamas, and Ahmadinejad all want Israel's annihilation after him. The confrontation persists as Palestinian media repeats this agenda. The Six-Day War killed schoolchildren. The 1972 Olympics killed 11 Israeli athletes. 12. War, terrorism, retribution and violence have lasted for 40 years. Suicide bombs have occurred since 1989. Israel has been shelled recently. Palestinian terrorists plant military targets in civilian locations to increase collateral damage from retaliation and turn public sentiment against Israel. 11. The two countries have made durable peace agreements with Israel and established diplomatic relations despite the violence. Only Egypt and Jordan. 41. Jews are ethnic, religious Israelites. Judaism is the Jewish people's historic faith. However, its practice ranges from strict to non-existent. 10. Only Israel is Jewish. For over 3,000 years, Jews have lived there. Jewish life is preserved in its historical and archaeological sites. The Quran calls Jews children of Israel. Judaism reveres Israel as God's land. Number 9. From Abraham. Around 1,500 years ago, having a Jewish father made someone a Jew. A Jewish mother made a Jew for 1,900 years. That rule changed 20 years ago. If your mother is Jewish, you are Orthodox or conservative. Number 8. Jewish identities include Yiddish. Haredi Jews speak Yiddish at home, school, and in many social settings. Hasidic yeshivas use it. Number 7. 1. Family is an important aspect in Israeli culture, with extended families often living close to each other and gathering for weekly Shabbat meals. Number 6. Jews practice Judaism. Judaism, an ancient monotheistic faith, ranks 10th worldwide. Judaism expresses God's covenant with the children of Israel. 5. Judaism is life. They're inseparable. Passover, Rosh Hashanah, and Yom Kippur are celebrated year-round. Jewish New Year begins in August or October on the lunar calendar. Israel celebrates Yom Kippur by staying at home and closing all stores. Bar and bat mitzvahs are rites of passage into maturity for Jewish boys and girls turning 13 and 12. Hanukkah, Purim, the Sabbath, and booths are other celebrations. Number 4. Judaism has many sects. Conservative, Orthodox, Hasidic, and Reformed Judaism. Judaism uses the Star of David. Kippahs are brimless skullcaps used in temple and by certain men at all times, and talits are prayer shawls. Number 3. The Torah-compliant diet is kosher. Kosher means fit for use and means eating according to the biblical code and with care for all life and the relationship between what we eat and how we act in the world. Number 2. Judaic holidays have specific cuisines. Matzah is still eaten at Passover supper. Challah is Sabbath dinner bread. Number 1. Dating in Israel often involves a mix of traditional and modern practices, with some couples following traditional gender roles and others sharing household and financial responsibilities equally. Well, that's it for today. From its bustling cities to its stunning landscape, Israel has something for everyone. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. See you next time.